Hello and good afternoon. Thank you for joining me on another Self-Care Monday series. Today we are going to be working on a sage with Blackberry body scrub. But before we get started on our workshop, let's go ahead and go over some of the materials you need to work on this. You will need 4 major ingredients in order to do this workshop, plus your supplemental ingredients. So I have a sealable container, a mixing bowl, as well as my measuring utensils, a masher, as well as a scooper. You will need blackberries, sage, coconut oil, and of course white sugar. The fresher your blackberries and sage are, the better for you. And if you would like to, make sure you have organic ingredients too as well. If you have a food processor, you can go ahead and put all of your ingredients into the food processor. But if you don't, I am going to show you how to mix it by hand. So let's go ahead and get started. With your sage, you're going to go ahead and get the biggest size leaves there is in the packaging. Take off the stem, and then you're going to just tear apart the leaves into tiny little bits. Now, sage itself has anti-inflammatory products, and because this is a body scrub, we are going to be using it topically, meaning on your skin. And you're just going to do this and grab roughly about 4 to 5 large size leaves. Like I said, the bigger the better, and you're just going to rip them off from their stems. And be sure to wash all of your ingredients beforehand too as well. Now you can use a knife and cut these apart yourself. I'm just using my fingers. But you're going to keep tearing them apart until they're nice and tiny. And once you got that done, then you'll go ahead and add your blackberries. And on your blackberries, you're going to add 1/4 cup. Blackberries themselves are high in vitamin C and also anthocyanins. It's kind of a hard word for me to pronounce, which helps prevent the aging process. So helps rejuvenate your skin cells. I'm going to go ahead and add a few extra blackberries because I myself love blackberries. And once you have your blackberries into your container, you're going to get a masher. You can use a potato masher, a wire whisk, but I myself have a fork. And you're just going to mash your blackberries and your sage together until the blackberries themselves are not full-size berries. You may need to clean your masher. If you have a blender, you can put this in a blender too as well. But I like making things with my hands, so we're using a fork. Releasing all those beneficial vitamin C's and anti-inflammatory properties. And once your blackberries start turning into a paste, then it's good to go. So it's still a little chunky, but it's more paste than it is chunks. And you're going to go ahead and put your fork off to the side, and you'll go ahead and add your coconut oil. With your coconut oil, you're going to add 2 tablespoons as well as 2 teaspoons. So I have a teaspoon and tablespoon here. Now coconut oil itself Also has anti-inflammatory properties, helps moisturize your skin. It's also antimicrobial, which means it's gonna help treat acne and also protect your skin from harmful bacteria. And once you got 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons in with your container, next you're going to add your sugar. And your sugar, you're going to go ahead and add 1.5 cups. I myself like to add roughly about half of the total number of sugar that you'll need, and just mix it up a tad bit. Now, sugar itself helps hydrate your skin by pulling moisture from the air, and it also acts as an exfoliant, so it gets rid of dead skin cells from your surface. And once you have all of your ingredients into your mixing bowl, all you need to do is just keep mixing until it turns a pinkish purple. And it's going to have a sand-like consistency. If it comes out too dry, too sand-like, you can always add a little bit more coconut oil. Contrary to that, if it's too oily and too wet, you can always add more sugar. I suggest adding a little bit at a time. Don't add a whole lot at once, because then you're going to have to keep repeating the process. And then once you have all of your ingredients put together, you'll go ahead and put it into your airtight container. If you have a lid for your container, you're more than welcome to put a lid on it. But I'm just going to put everything into this jar. And you'll go ahead and store this jar at room temperature for up to 1 week. And you can always, at the end of the week, make more. And in order to use this, all you have to do is just wet your skin very thoroughly. Grab a small handful of this body scrub, and then using your hands, gently massage the body scrub into your skin. And then once you've worked in the scrub, you'll go ahead and rinse off the scrub with warm water. And then instead of wiping yourself dry, you're going to go ahead and pat yourself dry. And then you'll go ahead and repeat this process as needed or until you run out of your body scrub. And because this is made out of natural ingredients, you're more than welcome to eat this. However, I wouldn't recommend it because it's very high in sugar. But you'll go ahead and put everything into your container, seal it shut, and like I said, store it at room temperature for up to 1 week. Thank you for joining me on this week's session on Self-Care Monday. We successfully completed our stage with Blackberry Body Scrub. Again, you're more than welcome to use this, store it at room temperature. In order to use it, just wet your skin, use the body scrub and rub it into your skin, wash it off, and when you're done, be sure to pat dry. If you haven't already, Be sure to subscribe to all of our social media accounts. We have Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and more. Just go ahead and search for the Octavia Fallon Public Library. Stay tuned next week as we make a homemade rose water and face toner. Thank you again, and I hope you have a good rest of your day.